What's up, guys, gals, and non-binary pals? My name is Naomi. Welcome to House of Miscellania. Today I'm coming at you with a WIP and chat. WIP stands for work in progress, and I'm going to chat for about an hour. At the end, I'm going to read a tarot card as our thought for the week. So stick around. Do something, would you? Let me go over my tools really quickly. I'm using a pen from Diamond Pen Pal. This is the Satura pen. It's in the chubby variety, and it's beautiful. In my single placer, I have Ghost from Diamond Painting Daily. They are on Etsy, as is Diamond Pen Pal. Links are down in the description if you want to check them out. And then I am using Putty Earthglow Putty from Butterfly Effectwares, also on Etsy. And my tray is from this side, Firefly. This is the Switch Mini Max. It says mini, it is not mini. It is. I have large man hands, so if you like a smaller size tray, don't go with this, because as you can see, it fits in a 10 by 10 like square. So that's 10 centimeters or 4 inches across. And then it is about, I would say 5 1/4 long. So be aware. You got to have big old man hands to use the Switch Mini Max. The Switch might be a better option if you've got little teeny lady hands. It has a removable lid and a removable trash tray, both of which I always take off. And then an open and closed pour spout, which is very handy. It looks like a whistle underneath. Also cool. And then it's got this hole in the top so that if you would like to put your pen in it, it won't roll away on you. Hey. So let me move my squeaky chair around here. There we go. I got to actually load up my pen with some putty. How are you guys doing? If you're new, welcome to the channel. My name is Naomi. I'm a diamond painter, and my channel is all about diamond painting content. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to. I always put up a WIP and chat, and then unboxings. I do post reviews. I have a bunch of content that I need to edit and put together, but I'll get into that in a minute. If you're coming back to see me, hi. Missed you, boo-boo. How you doing? So weekly WIP and chat. I got nothing, really. Nothing is really new and exciting. But, well, I guess that's not totally true. I've been going over to my in-laws. I have some pens that need turning. I've been working on some really beautiful blanks. I actually repoured a couple because I found some live edge ash wood and it's gorgeous. But I have to get those turned. My father-in-law, okay, so for those who have no idea, when I go and do a pen, I go to my in-laws' house because let me talk about the diamond painting that I'm working on before I just like go too far crazy into things. I am working on, hold please, if I can, I'm like way far back. I'm working on Dreaming with Wolves by Yume. This beauty by Yume from Diamond Art Club. It is a 70 by 70 centimeters in square, and it's like beans. My Great Pyrenees, that's what it reminds me of, so that's why I'm doing it. Okay, so when I make pens, I go over to my in-laws' house to turn the pens because my father-in-law is the one who has the lathe. And so I go over, I use his lathe. Actually, it's a small size lathe, which is more my size. He has a full size, like man size lathe too, but I'm only 5'2", so I need to use the little lady size lathe. But it's his garage. So whenever I'm working on something, I kind of have to work around whatever projects that he has going. And he has this new obsession. He is obsessed with purchasing, they are like wrought iron bench ends, or sometimes it's the middle part of the bench. He will purchase them like rotted out wood for these wrought iron benches, and then he replaces the planks of wood and makes a new bench. And so I'm thinking like, oh, well, he's going to have, you know, a little business prospect going. Maybe he's going to sell them and make himself some money or whatever. And I was like, oh, cool. Are you going to sell these? No, I'm going to put them in the yard. What? You're going to just put them in the yard? I mean, they have like an acre mowed backyard. Beautiful backyard. Like, they have a beautiful yard. But you're just going to fill it up with benches? Like, just, he's probably got, no exaggeration, like 25 of these damn benches. And I'm like, so you're just going to keep all the benches and you're just going to fill up the whole backyard? Yeah, I think so. And I'm thinking like, okay, you're not a young person anymore. So eventually, I guess Dustin and I are going to inherit 25 wrought iron benches that his dad makes. Cool. I'm like, where are you going to put all of them? Oh, well, you know, I'm going to put one by that tree and I'll put one by that bush and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay. Everybody will have seating for parties. You don't have parties. What are you talking about? Whatever. He's happy. He's retired. And so if that is what floats his dinghy, that's great. But when I went over on Monday to turn some pens, that was the plan. At least I thought that was the plan. I get into the garage and I had some plans to, you know, rework a couple of blanks and whatnot anyways. But I go in the garage and like the lathe is moved. And it's moved into like this section where he's just got like stacks of boxes and crap in the way. And I'm like, so how am I supposed to turn pens? Oh, well, I'll have to move it back. Okay, when is that going to be possible to do? How about let's go with next Monday? Sure. Okay, well, you're going to help me move it back, right? Okay, sure, I'll help you move it back, even though I didn't move it. But I guess, whatever. I'm happy to be over there. The weather is, it's been warmer again, but we're supposed to have a nice cool down again. I'm cool with that. It's actually much more manageable to work in the garage when it's not like balls ass hot in there, so I'm cool with that. As long as I can get my booty over there. I plan on basically working on pens pretty solidly until Mary Morales starts up. I want to have a few maybe to give away for that. I have my commissions. I'm going to make sure those are done. And then, you know, see how many I can get out of the things that I want to get done. So I'm very, very, very excited. Every pen is different, and maybe when I go back over there, I'm popping over tomorrow because I need to check on something. One of the pieces that I was reworking, I have to add some things and then pour the other half. And so when I do that, I'll take some pictures of the blanks and you'll be able to see them. I'm really excited. Every piece is, like, every blank is unique. Every piece is unique. And so no two blanks have the same look or items or whatever in them. And so I'm very excited. But anyways, enough about pens and blanks and things. I'm not currently taking any commissions until I finish the commissions that I have. So if you're interested in one, you're going to have to wait. I'll let you guys know when I'm ready to start taking any orders again. It might be a little bit. I can't rush it because I am working in someone else's workspace, and it's one of those things like I put my juju in there, so I got to make sure that I'm of, you know, level head, level mind. I'm in a better mood this week than I was last week, and so I apologize to anybody who had to listen to my sad sack bullshit last time. It's not usually who I am. I try not to be. Things, you know, were obviously, for obvious reasons, very emotionally confusing. It's been, about maybe a week and a half since my dad died, and while he and I didn't have a relationship, there's still, feelings and memories and emotions attached, and so I had to kind of just parse my way through that, just kind of plod on through my emotions and determine exactly how I was gonna move forward with everything. And so I'm better now than what I was. But I talked to my oldest brother, and I probably shouldn't have. I remember when I spoke about it last week, I was mentioning how I kind of just, I didn't really care. I don't care about money. I don't care about monetary things because that's like, I can't get what I want anymore. But I was curious as to whether or not, like, I'm even named or mentioned in any kind of a will. And I talked to my oldest brother, and man, that was not the best idea. I love my oldest brother. He's wonderful. But his strong suit is not the knowledge of those kinds of things. So, not an I love him, but I love him. Knowing things about that kind of thing is on purpose not his strong suit. He doesn't want to make it his problem, and he wants to just let our older brother, my older brother, not his older brother, handle all the stuff. And so, it was probably just wrong of me to even try to bother him with. Oh, speaking of which, my brother actually has a YouTube channel of his own, and I think I'll have to look for a link down in the description. If I have one, I'll post it. But he is an illustrator, but he's also like a gamer. He's been a gamer for forever. And I actually, 9 years ago, I guested on his YouTube channel. And so that was fun and interesting. That's what I'll link in the description. When I find it, I will link that down in the description. It's actually really hilarious. I'm playing a game I've never played and having a good time. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. So if you want to check that out, that video where I'm actually a guest on his channel, he's had other very, I guess, nerd famous people on his channel since that time. I mean, not that I'm nerd famous or anything, but there's, people from certain games that have been developed, the writers of those games or developers, that sort of thing. He's got like for real people on there. So if you want to go and check that out, I will stick a link down in the description for that too, if I can find it. If you don't see it in the description, then that means I didn't find it. But I'm going to try to find it. He's a little salty that, he's had his channel for a really long time and he does not have a butt ton of subscribers. So he's like, how do you already have, 3,500 subscribers? I don't even have 500. I don't know. I'm cooler than you. Right? I know. But he did not care for my candor, because I'm sorry that it's true that I'm cooler than my oldest brother. Nah, my oldest brother's really cool. He's good stuff. He's actually the reason I feel like that I am as much of a nerd as I am. He's the reason that I role play. He's the reason that I play video games. Probably a lot to do with a lot of my personality or my humor. My oldest brother and I are a lot alike in the way that we think and the way that we play and the way that we laugh and tell jokes. And so, if you like me, you'd probably like him too. Same basic sense of humor. And he's like 5 years older than me. Yeah, so I think he's 50. Yeah, he just turned 50. What the hell? Oh my goodness. We need to stop aging, like, immediately. He doesn't look 50 or act 50, and nor do I look or act 45, so there's that. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. I had a comment on one of my videos, and somebody had said, "Is that your picture in your in your thumbnail? Is that really you? Because you don't look how I thought you would sound, or maybe I don't look like I sound, or whatever. However they said it." Oh my God, I was giggling. So I asked this question a long time ago. It's been a minute, but let me ask you, what do you think that what do you picture when you hear my voice? Is it the picture that's on my thumbnail? Do I look like that to you? Or in your mind, describe what I look like. I love this game because sometimes you'll be, listening to an audiobook or even a singer. There'll be a singer of whatever song that you might like, and then you go look up the band and you see the lead singer and you're like, oh my God, that's not what I pictured coming from that voice at all. There's one that I found recently, and actually it's just it was I think a Facebook short. Yeah, it was on Facebook Reels or something. And the young man in the picture, or in the reel, he is a young African American, although he's African from my understanding. Monrovia, I think is his name. He's on YouTube, but he sings folksy, like Appalachian type folk music, and he's African. Beautiful music, and not at all like when you hear the music and you hear him singing, you do not picture an African man. It's just, funny how that works. So first recommendation, go and check out Monrovia if you like kind of folksy type. It's like, how does he describe? I think he describes his own music as like the music that evokes your windows being all the way down on a summer day or something. It is very that. I will grant whomever came up with that description, it is very apt, I think, for the style of music. So if you want to, kind of some feel good, even the deeper kind of subject matter that he covers is in this same style, and so it is very relaxing. It's very just soothing, cool, calm, collected. So Monrovia is the name. But tell me, please tell me in the comments, what do I look like in your mind? Do I look like my picture in your mind at all? Do you picture what you see? I'm curious. I love to play that game when I'm like listening to someone else. And there are people who they look exactly like the picture of them that I see. I'm like, yeah, that's you. That's definitely you. I think it's because my voice is so, I guess, I don't know. I've heard it described as sultry. Sexy. I've heard my voice described as sultry, and I think it's just because I have a very low timbre to my voice. And that, you don't see that out of a 5'2", like auburn-haired little person. I'm not a little person, 5'2", but I'm very little to me. To the average-sized human, I'm very little. But yeah, do you see a blue-eyed, auburn-haired, short person from my voice? Maybe I am a brunette and I am very busty. That'd be pretty cool. Do you see a busty brunette when you hear my voice? Anyway. What else? I don't know. I played a game today on my live stream. It was called Diamond Painting Hot Takes. And I thought maybe I could play another diamond painting hot takes on my WIP and chat. And we can title it thusly, Diamond Painting Hot Takes. Because there were some good hot takes on the live. You should go and watch it on the replay, because I think there are some really good ones on there, but I got 50 more of them that I want to go through. Maybe not all 50, because it took me 2 hours to get through like the 50 or whatever that I had earlier, but I want to get through as many as I can get through. And these hot takes, some I will agree with, some I will not. If you want to follow along with your answers, please feel free. You had fun, it seemed like, when I did the diamond painting confessions. So let's play some diamond painting hot takes, because I think I have some opinions that might be unpopular. They might be real popular. I don't know. We'll find out. I'm kind of a judgmental wench, okay? I'm really not. So yeah, let's do that. What do you think? You want to play some hot takes with me? Well, if you don't, then maybe you want to click away. I don't know. If you don't, then you don't have to, but you can listen to my answers, because maybe you'll be inspired. Let's put it that way. And then we'll see if something else, like a story or whatever, comes to mind while I'm playing, because that generally happens anyways. Okay, so let's start with drills and placement hot takes. Number 1, resin drills are not always better than acrylic. So there are some people, hot take, that think that resin drills are like a fad, and the only reason that people like them is because, you know, Diamonds and Washi told us to, or whatever. And honestly, I think that if that was the case, then, you know, people with their experience would just go, oh, well, this is no different than acrylic, and then go back to acrylic diamond painting. I don't think that's the case. I think that resin, in most instances, is better than acrylic, in my opinion. I think that the drills are, no, I don't think, I know that the drills are shinier. Yes, the trash is different with acrylic versus resin. I think sometimes with acrylic you have less trash, but I don't think that the end result is quite as nice. So I will say, with this hot take, I disagree that resin drills are always better than acrylic. Yeah, I'm going with that. But I'll work on acrylic too. I don't care. Like, honestly, as long as they stick to the glue like they're supposed to, it doesn't so much matter to me, but I prefer resin and will work with resin. Like, I will buy resin on purpose. I probably would not go out of my way to buy acrylic, like something with acrylic drills, on purpose. You know what I mean? How about you? What do you think? Number 2. Static drills are worse than spilled drills. Oh man, they're both awful. I'll put it that way. As far as, is it worse to deal with static than it is worse to deal with spills? Equally shitty, I'll tell you that. But I don't like it when you're trying to kit up and you're dealing with static, because they go everywhere anyway, so it's like dealing with a spill. Whereas a spill, I can kind of control that with, you know, not being a klutz. So I would rather deal with a spill than with static, personally. So I agree. Static drills are worse than spilled drills. Yes, I do. Number 3, multi-placing ruins the satisfaction of click sounds. I highly disagree. I love multi-placing. I think single placers are weirdos in the nicest and best way possible. I love you. You're a weirdo, but I love you. Beans, do you need to be scratching yourself right now with your jingle jangles? You hear him jingle jangling over there? You got problems, buddy? Sounds like yes. he's had an ear that's been bothering him, his one ear. And the worst part is that he is a giant baby. We really need to get like a soft muzzle for him so that we can like muzzle him and then deal with his ears, because he won't let me put drops in there. He won't let me come at him with a Q-tip. He won't let me come at him with, you know, any kind of a spray or an ointment or an anything. And then when I chase him around and try to get something into his ear to clean it or whatever, he acts like he's gonna bite me. Like he'll do the whole like he's gonna eat my arm. And one, I mean, he's a real big dog. I can't have him try to eat my face while I'm trying to help him clean his ears. So you know, it can get, I don't act scared, because I think if I did, then he would believe he won and he would, you know, not let me help him at all. But I think with a soft muzzle, I'm not sure if it's going to scare him more or if it'll calm him down. So I'm kind of like of two minds about it. You know, you guys deal with that with a dog that you try to do something with him, like even touching his feet to trim his nails, or to pick burrs out of his little toes in between his little beans. He just gets pissed. Big old wimpy kitty baby whiner that he is. It's like, let me help you. Anyways, so the question was, multi-placing ruins the satisfaction of click sounds. No, I don't think so. I think that I have just as many pops or clicks or that crunch. Oh, I love that satisfying crunch, even with a multi-placer, that you get from like especially a tight grid like Diamond Art Club has. So no, I think that there's just as much satisfaction in multi-placing, more in my mind, than in single placing. I still get pops, I still get crunchies, all of it. Number 4, color blocking is mindless, not relaxing. Oh, I definitely agree. Is that a hot take? Is it a hot take to think that color blocking is like the literal worst? I like it when you have a kit that has a nice mix of confetti and color blocking. I like a perfect kind of, you know, mix of the two. But if I've got to take one or the other, like I have no choice, I've got to do confetti or color blocking, would much rather do confetti all day, every day. Granted, I like some variety in the colors, or, you know, what have you. Like I don't want to do a confetti piece that's all greens or all blues or whatever. Like the confetti that was down here, there was enough variety in it. Yes, it's a lot of green, but there was a lot of variety in it. No, color blocking to me is not relaxing. In fact, it's infuriating sometimes, especially because, you know, when you multi-place and color block, because to single place and color block, I'm not going to do checkerboarding, like forget that. But sometimes you just really can't get your placement to look good when you multi-place on a color blocking section, you know, it sucks. Number 5, confetti heavy kits are just punishment disguised as art. I disagree. Like I said, I do like a mix of both. There can be limits, obviously, to confetti. Sometimes it can feel like punishment, especially if it's just a kit that wasn't rendered, you know, very well, or it's computer rendered, and then you feel like you're just constantly being punished for something you didn't do wrong. Been there. But it definitely is more therapeutic to me for confetti than it is punishment, though I have felt punished by confetti before. Talk about like a Josephine wall in 200 colors, it can sometimes feel like punishment because you're running into literally 130 color changes in one square. And that is painful to deal with. So really depends on the piece, but generally no. I think that confetti is a treat, not a punishment. Ooh, a bad drill. There we go. All right, number 6. Yes, 6. Square drills don't really snap into place. It's a myth. Nuh-uh. I don't think it's a myth. I think square drills do snap into place. I think, especially when you're working with a really nice tight grid, if you've got a sloppy, like, loose drill field, then no, of course they're not snapping into place. But if you're purchasing from a company with a good drill field, then you know as well as I do that yes, they do snap into place, and it's gorgeous. Stop buying cheap kits. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. Ooh, if this is a hot take. Number 7, special drills make canvases look cheap. So there are people, and no judgments, no, okay, little judgments, I guess, that really, it goes beyond what is considered enhancing a canvas. They're literally replacing all of the drills with special drills, except, the ones that they just simply can't find replacements for. They just change it all. They change everything out, and it is what it is when it's done. Those look, I'm sorry if this is you. Wow, Beans, what are you throwing toys around? I'm sorry if this is you, but also kind of not sorry. It does look tacky, I think, for me. Now, if you like it and that's what you're into, it's hanging in your house. I don't have to like it or dislike it. If that's what you're into, that's what you're into. In my opinion, and for me personally, I think, really, Beans, hold one moment. Sorry about that. We have hardwood floors, and for whatever reason, he thinks it's appropriate to, like, scratch at it like he's building a nest. But, like, dude, you're not doing anything to the floor except scratching it. I don't even get it. I took him for a walk before I started my whip and chat, like I usually do, to make sure he's quiet and relaxed and whatever before I get started, and then he pulls this crap. So there you have it. Okay, so I was saying, special drills, they can really make a canvas look tacky, but if it's hanging in somebody else's house, I don't rightly care what somebody else decides to do with their canvas. I do get confused because, somebody will go, I have to imagine that probably costs, when you figure it all in, like, an extra, sometimes, like, to replace just about everything, it's got to be an extra, like, 40 or 50 bucks. I could buy a canvas with that. I don't want to spend all that extra on special drills, I'd rather spend on a canvas. That's just kind of where I'm at. Number 8, glow drills are gimmicky. Nobody displays canvases in the dark. I mean, that's kind of true. I have a couple of canvases that have glow-in-the-dark stuff, and the one that I made for my in-laws, or that I did for my in-laws, Evening Melodies, I added a few glow-in-the-dark drills because it's supposed to be the night sky. And so you're only just supposed to kind of see them as you turn the lights off and head to bed or whatever. It's not really meant to be viewed in the dark. You could, I suppose. But otherwise, I mean, yeah, they're kind of gimmicky. They also do not work very well. They don't stay glowing. I think if you had a black light, it'd be a little different, but it's not 1996, so I don't have a black light hanging in my house, personally. But no, if what, honestly, just like with the last thing with the special drills, do what makes you happy ultimately. And if, you know, decorating your canvas to all high heaven and putting on glow in the dark drills is what floats your dinghy, then do what makes you happy. I it's supposed to be relaxing, it's supposed to be fun, and if that's what gets you there, then so be it. Do you, boo. But for me, I don't know. The glow drills thing just never really did it for me. Just didn't really work out. So there you go. Okay, that was number 7. Number 8. No, that was number 8. Number 9. Old school kits with poor glue still deserve love. So I have some older kits, and I'm sure that the glue is going to be sad and probably make me a little bit miserable. And if you love the artwork, then you'll do what you need to do to get the glue reinvigorated or add, you know, the dot stick or whatever. It's not about, if you like the image, then you'll figure out a way to make it work. And yeah, your old canvases that you probably held on to for years that the glue is likely frickin' bone dry, yeah, those deserve love too. Just gotta know how to get the glue working. And if you do the alcohol trick, that should bring the glue back to life by spraying it down with alcohol. And if it doesn't, well, then you get dot stick and you go to town, I guess. It's going to take you a while, but if you like the artwork, then you'll do what you got to do. That's why I don't think it's wise for people to have so many canvases in their stash that, like, you're going to be working on this kit in 30 years. Probably the glue's not going to work in 30 years, but good luck to you. Hope it does for your sake. Otherwise, you're going to have to work it out with some dot stick, you know? All right, kits and stash questions. Oh, here we go. Having a stash, number 11, having a stash isn't a collection, it's just hoarding. I think in some cases it can be. I have a stash, and I know I don't think it's hoarding because my stash could be worked down to just about nothing in less than a couple of years. And I don't have a large income. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, that always helps. Become a member of the channel. Not subscribe. Though subscribing helps. Please subscribe if you like subscribing to things. But if you'd like to become a member, every bit helps. If you want to donate to my PayPal, every bit helps. If you want to send me a canvas, every bit helps. But I don't have the money to be buying canvases just like willy-nilly, so I have a stash so that I have canvases to work on. Otherwise, you know, because I purchased a lot of canvases when I was financially had some more money, and so, you know, those eventually run out. But I think people who have hundreds, like multiple hundreds, and you're only, you know, finishing a canvas every few months and whatnot, I don't think maybe, but everybody can do what they want to do. Ultimately, it's your decision. You know whether or not you have a problem deep down. It's none of my business. For me personally, no, having a stash is not hoarding. If you think that it is for you, then you should take steps to change that. But I can't really judge because I don't know everybody's life or their situation, and so you personally know your own stash and whether or not you think it's too many, and whether or not maybe you might have an inkling it's too many. If you do something about it, you do something about it. It's none of it. Like, I can't fix it for you. So, you know, there's that. Number 12, you'll never finish your stash, and that's okay. I don't think that that's necessarily true, in a sense. I think that if you are a person like me, that you'll always have or try to have at least a little bit of a stash. So, I mean, ultimately you would never run out because you would always have some kind of a stash. Then that's okay. But if it's just I'm collecting these and I'll still have them in, 30 years or whatever, I guess if that's what you want to do, hopefully somebody that you're going to will all of your diamond paintings to is going to like diamond painting in, 30 years or whatever. But again, I think you'll always, if you have a stash, you'll probably always have at least a small stash to make sure that you always have a diamond painting to work on. It makes sense, right? Number 13, seasonal kits lose all appeal once the season passes. I honestly don't know. I don't buy seasonal kits. I don't own any seasonal kits, I don't think. Maybe one or two, but maybe none. I don't know. I don't think I have anything that would be considered like Christmas or Halloween or fall or whatever. Like you can work on a fall landscape in spring. I don't think that makes it a seasonal kit. But I also don't, I don't really have any seasonal canvases, so I don't really know. Tell me, if you work on seasonal canvases, do they lose their appeal once the season passes? I don't know. Like people who are working on drills and chills stuff right now, are you gonna, like, if it's not finished by the time, winter rolls around, do you quit working on it and then just put it away till next year? Like, what do you do? Curious. Number 14. Limited, no, we'll skip that one. 14. Most floral kits look the same. It depends. I mean, like a Peggy Collins floral kit might not look the same as another person's floral kit. Just kind of depends on the style. But I don't think that any, like, all landscapes aren't exactly the same. There's obviously differences and things. I think that it just really depends on if that's something that because there are people that believe that all Moraleses look the same. And I would obviously respectfully disagree with that person that no, they don't all look the same. They have a lot of similarities. The art style is obviously the same, but the kits themselves are not exactly the same. I didn't think Song of Artemis and Einafel looked exactly alike at all, but there were other people that were like, oh my god, it's basically the same kit. No, it isn't. All portraits aren't the same. All landscapes aren't the same. So I'm sure all florals aren't the same if that's what somebody's into, but maybe to a person like me who's not into florals, I suppose it could read that way, but obviously they're not. They're not. Never fear. You like what you like and you don't what you don't, and if you think they all look the same, well, I guess that's what they are to you. Number 15. Animals are overdone. Too many cats, wolves, and horses. Dak has been dropping an exorbitant amount of animals. And I'm sure there's probably people who think the same thing about portraits or whatever. But holy crap. I don't need to see another cat painting, but there are people out there that freaking love cat paintings or those freaking ducks. I mean, they're cute. Don't get me wrong, but like I don't really like poop my pants over that sort of thing. So, it just because it's not my thing doesn't mean it's not somebody else's, but oh my God, I've had enough animals. I don't like them. I don't need them. I don't want them. And so it's just not something that I'm particularly, it doesn't blow my skirt up. You know what I mean? But if that's something you like, animals, more power to you. You've had plenty of them lately. Oh my gosh. Number 16. Portrait kits rarely turn out flattering. I disagree. Respectfully. I think I have lots of portrait kits that have turned out amazeballs. Morales is included. I think it really depends on the render. There are some kits that, like, if they don't take good care with the renders, that, yeah, they look like hell. There's been lots of kits I haven't purchased because I felt like the render didn't do the piece justice, and there's no reason for me to waste my money on something that I'm going to have to fix, because I just don't have the patience or probably a little bit know-how, I think, too, involved with being able to fix those, you know. Number 17. You don't need to unbox every kit for content. I would agree. I in fact have not unboxed every kit that I own for content. I hold back on a lot of them, but I'm also not posting like every 3 days or whatever a new unboxing video or a new post review or whatever. I think that there are people that, like, that literally is the lifeblood of their channel, that they unbox and unbox and unbox. I just don't have money to replace. So it would be really unwise for me to just go through and unbox everything, because then, you know, later on I wouldn't have anything to use for content. So if people have enough kits that they can just keep doing unboxings every week or twice a week forever and ever, more power to them. I am a little bit more than a little bit jealous. I wish I could, but I'm just not, I'm not monetarily able to do that. So, you know, I don't think it's as important as other people maybe do. I also would prefer, over unboxings, post-review videos. I think they're far more informative, personally, but that's me. Number 18. Mini kits are more satisfying than massive ones. At times, I would say that's true. I think that there's an appropriate time and place for mini kits. I occasionally will bust out one of my, like, butterfly edition paint gem pieces just to get a bit of a break in between working on, you know, larger pieces. Sometimes it's good to have, like, a palette cleanser or a snack-sized kit to, you know, just get you from one canvas to the next without needing, like, you can get a finish. And that's kind of the nice thing, is it's like you can get a quick win out of a one of the minis, and sometimes you just need a win. It's not so much about, oh, I need to do 8,000 huge kits. It's like, I just really want a finish of some kind, and a mini can provide that. So I don't see anything wrong with it. Sometimes they are more satisfying than massive ones. Tools and accessories. Oh, okay. Oh, my goodness. Hot take. Number 20. Diamond painting pens are just overpriced sticks. No. I can't use a tiny, like, the stylus sized pen. I can't. I have really bad carpal tunnel, and I wouldn't even be able to diamond paint if I had not discovered fancier diamond painting pens. Some people don't need them, and we love that for you. I love that for you. Unfortunately, I am not one of those people. I have to have a big pen. But you don't have to spend a lot to get a nice diamond painting pen, a thicker diamond painting pen. In fact, you know, you can get less expensive acrylic ones for pretty cheap on Amazon or whatever. So, you don't have to spend a fortune to get something better than what you have. And I was saying it earlier today too. There's very much like the art of collecting the accessories for a hobby can be a hobby in and of itself. So, it just kind of depends on whether or not you feel you need it. And if you do, how many of them you want to collect. I don't need more than my like one or two of like a certain size that works really well. Sometimes I do go down to something a little smaller if I'm noticing, like I'm having a lot of numbness in my hands when I get up in the morning. Might be time to switch up for a different size or shape pen, but I don't have many to choose from in that respect. So, I make it work. Number 21, a single tray is all you'll ever need. No, I think it really depends on, again, how, like, what your needs are. Some people kit up into trays, so obviously a single tray is not all they're going to need. I'm not the kind of person who wants to kit up into trays, so, but I could with all of the ones that I have from Diamond Art Club. They're very nice trays. I do tend to stick to like one or two like types or brands or varieties or whatever, but that's just because when I find something I like, I stick to it. It's more that than anything. And then, yeah, sure, I would probably, if money was no object, I would probably get a tray to match every canvas I have, or a pen to match every canvas I have, but I don't have it like that. So I make do with the ones that I have and just try not to feel feelings about the people who, are able to do that. The jealous feelings, 22. Multi-placer tips wear out too fast to be worth it. No. I'm a very hard placer, and the thin metal multi-placers from Diamond Art Club, I've not had one wear out on me exactly. I've bent them pretty decently, but I mean, it takes a long time for that. So I need these multi-placers, so I'll spend a little bit extra for them. You can, though. I've seen them. Friend Miss Glory has 3D printed single or multi-placers in various sizes, and they have like this curve in them so that you're kind of rocking them down. I want to get a set of those. I'd love to get a set of those. So, those are really cool. I can't remember where in the heck she got them from. If you're interested, leave a comment. And Glory usually watches my WIP and chats. So if you leave a comment and you say, hey, I'm looking for a link to those 3D printed multi-placers, those sound cool. If she doesn't respond, I'll find out and I will post a comment for you, or like a response to you with a link or something. I'll find out. If somebody wants to know where to get them, I'll find out if you would like. Number 20, whatever. We'll go with a couple more. Cover minders are just fridge magnets in disguise. I mean, I don't know. I don't really use cover minders. I have cover minders, but I don't really use them for anything. I don't have any on my, I think I might have a couple on my fridge, but that's just because that's where they ended up. Not because I chose to make them fridge magnets. They just sort of ended up there. I think that they're very cute, and they're cute as collectibles. Some people like to just, leave them sitting on, like, next to their square or whatever, and they're cute, and that's all well and good. I think that just like anything with the accessories, whatever makes a person happy. I'm not going to go poop on somebody's picnic just because they want a bunch of cover minders or whatever. Leave everybody alone to do what they do, and if they're happy, then I guess leave them be. As long as they're, as long as they're safe and they're not spending their rent money on whatever it is that they like, then let them do their thing. Leave them alone. They know, hopefully they'll know when it's a problem and they will do what they need to do to manage it. But it ain't for you or I to wear a cape for those people. You can only control what you do, right? Right. Okay. Next one. We talked about this one in the live. Storage containers are overrated. Zip bags work just fine. And in some instances, sure. I like my storage. I think that it is much more organized, easier to get to. I will work out of bags occasionally if, I'm just too lazy to kit something up, or I don't feel like using the storage or whatever, then sure, I'll work out of Ziploc bags. I don't prefer that route, but I'll do it if I'm just not feeling like using up storage, especially for like miniature things like my paint gems. My paint gems are not in storage containers. I don't waste the storage containers for it. But if, somebody else works just out of Ziploc bags, that's totally fine too. Okay, let's do, we talked about this one in the live too, and I'll address it. Premium companies aren't always better than budget ones. Sometimes that is true. Sometimes there are budget companies out there that actually have better quality than some of the premium companies. There are a couple of licensed companies that, in my opinion, their product is kind of no better than the AliExpress or Temu. It's likely, where they're getting their kits from as customs or whatever. And the quality is trash. And just because you have licensed artists doesn't mean that your product is better. I do prefer things from licensed artists versus stealing. So don't steal artwork, or if you're getting a piece of artwork that is from an artist, make sure that they get their cut from it. Send them some money on their PayPal or their Patreon or however you donate to people, but don't just snag somebody else's hard work. But that being said, yeah, sometimes budget kits are better than the premium ones. You get what you pay for, ultimately. So, but sometimes you're paying way too much for overpriced trash, All right, let me close this up and let's read our tarot card thought for the week. Okay, I've already got these shuffled up, so let's see what we got. I got it in my book. Sorry, I'm bumping things. Okay, let me get a quick drink. I'm gonna, shaking the whole world. Look at me go. All right, getting a drinky. Mountain Dew. It's like 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Probably more than that now. It's like 3:20. All right, what do we got? The Singer of Transfiguration. Ooh, looks like a phoenix, doesn't it? What does our thought for the week hold for us? I have some thoughts in my head, so let's see if it applies to the thoughts in my head. Transformation, transcendence, and metamorphosis are the key words. Jackpot. This card in a reading signifies the joy of success after a time of struggle. Ooh, I could use one of those. A new way of life has been accepted and is being integrated. A sense of inner peace is growing. The struggle has all been worth it. This is a time of consolidation and joy and is both a reward for past achievements and a time of preparation for the next climb up the path. I feel like this year has been kind of a climb up the path, and not always in a bad way. I've learned so many things this year. I've approached so many new challenges with what I like to think of as willing grace to try something new, to fail at things, like to learn what there is to learn in a lesson about just stuff, right? And I think that it is a time where I can and you can try to accept that good things can and will arrive, especially for those willing to see the good even in bad things. I think that sometimes it's really, really, really vital to remember that, you know, even a bad thing can 100% be disguised as good, or can be transfigured into something good, as long as you're willing to really look at it from all perspectives. Something bad for you might be good for somebody else, and why. Sometimes you just need to determine whether or not it's bad overall, or if it's just bad for you because of, the way that it affects you. You have to think sometimes about how things affect others. And I'm really, really, really trying to keep in mind that I need to think more globally about not just how something affects me, because just because it's negative for me could be something positive for someone else. You're gonna be seeing some, I would say, new adventures on my channel, and new companies, some new beginnings, and I'm really, really, really excited and looking forward to it. And I'm hoping I'll be able to share more information about exactly what in the heck I'm talking about as that gets a little bit closer. For right now, I have secrets that I have to keep to myself. Some people know what it is, but I'm gonna read this as a positive, that some good things are coming. I feel like I need them. I really deserve and need them. I guess I don't know if I deserve them, but I definitely need them. But that's all I have for you. Again, if you enjoy my channel, please consider subscribing and coming back to see me next week, and for some unboxings and post reviews and friend mails that I have coming up. Until next time, you guys, I hope that wherever you are in this great, big, wide, wonderful world of ours, that you are having a glorious morning, evening, or afternoon, whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'll see you next time. Bye. Ah, almost threw my drills. No. Bye.